I think it's an interesting thing how you've seen the landscape of MMA over the years, especially the UFC. And you were in the ring with, in the cage for one of the most famous MMA fights. It's the Khabib McGregor fight.
Oh, yeah.
And chaos erupts at the end of the fight. Now, we've heard from multiple stories about what was going on. Luke Rockhold is one of our co-hosts. He's always in here. So he was telling us about him running in the cage with DC. Can you walk me through what was going through your mind when you saw all this erupt?
Okay. I think, when it first started, okay, so he, he's holding on to the choke. I get him to let go. He's still on him. I'm kind of standing in between them. And then he's like, all of a sudden he's over there talking to somebody else and at somebody else. And then once it started, at first a minute I probably tried to trace him and try to keep him from going out or something. But then once it got to that point, I'm like, this is beyond my job. This is everybody else's job. My job is done.
Right. I think you could take Khabib if he's like I train with you. Listen, I train with him.
Hold up.
No, listen, hear me out. Don't fucking cut me off.
I ain't gonna cut you off.
You're not an expert. You said it earlier.
Someone gotta put you in.
Herb Dean can take.
Herb Dean is my dog.
He's thinking that he'll take Khabib if Khabib pops off on him. He can defend himself. He can take him.
He can defend himself.
He'll beat Khabib.
So, but even though Khabib is that much smaller than me, I heard that he gives Daniel Cormier a hard time. I know Daniel Cormier could just sit on me. So I don't know, man. I heard Khabib.
But your jiu-jitsu is really good though.
Decent. I'm all right. But I couldn't be able to do anything with Khabib. I heard his feet are like hands. Just
oh, for real?
Yeah.
But think about this. This. Hear me out. I'm not talking about if you go in a ring and spar him. I'm thinking if something pops off
for 5 seconds. I can give everybody hell for 5 seconds.
Thank you. Until
the athletic commission comes in and get my back.
You not understand what I'm saying?
Whoa, thank you. What?
You not understand what I'm saying? When I said that, you thinking I'm saying like if he fights Khabib in a sanctioned fight where somebody else referees fight, Khabib would probably run circles around him. But think about this: if something pops off inside the cage like that, any fighter, and they go after him, and there's people that can break it up.
Thanks for having that belief in me. Yeah. I'm going to believe that.
I got you.
I feel better now.
I
feel better.
Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because listen, most fights get broken up, right? Within like a couple of seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No,
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So if something pops off with him and Khabib or him and somebody else, I've trained him. He's going to know how to defend himself long enough for some people to come and break up the fight.
So if Khabib turned around and said, "Hey, I'm not going to go after Dylan Dennis. I'm going to go after him," and the Dagestanian army comes behind Khabib.
No, you ain't understand what I'm saying. No disrespect to Khabib at all. Why you laughing at me? Why you laughing? No disrespect.
Just continue.
No
this is good.
This is good. But what I'm saying is, in that moment when that shit popped off, and if Khabib would have turned on him, he would have held his own until the other people came and broke
I can see that.
That's what I'm saying.
I
can see that.
Yeah, I don't see you getting mobbed. I don't see you just getting mobbed.
I'll tell you one thing. That's the other thing about our sport is all the guys in our sport, there's a lot of respect. People always ask me that, like, hey, do they ever turn on you? Like pit bulls. Do you ever have them turn on you? I'm like, no. The guys, in the early days, we used to have to wrestle people a lot. And in maybe some areas, some regions of the world, you got to wrestle people a little bit more. But mostly in this sport, everybody really respects the sport, and they respect that we have rules. And when the ref tells them to stop, they stop.
I was going to ask you about that. Have you ever had somebody that was trying to hold the choke a little bit too long, or somebody that was like an asshole with it?
I've had a few of those, yeah.
But not in the UFC though, huh?
Sometime in the UFC. I'm not going to bring them up. If you watch them, some people know who I'm talking about. Yeah. There's times where you have to let people know, because you can't let someone get hurt on your watch. That person's trusting you. And just so you guys, I've said this a bunch of times, people know, but this job, I consider it sacred. So yeah, you know what I mean? It's your responsibility. That person's trusting you to look over them once they've given it their all. You got to do everything you can to keep that.
That's why, and that's why nobody should get upset if they feel like there's an early stoppage in any fight with any ref.
Agreed.
Because at the end of the day, the ref is just looking out for the safety of the fighters.